This is The Space Shot, episode 155 for October 16th, 2017. GOES-1. Hey everyone, welcome to The Space Shot, your daily space history, pop culture, and news fix. I'm John Molnix. Happy Monday, everybody. I am going to be posting the weekly wrap-ups now on Medium every Sunday, in addition to being on Facebook, so be sure to check out the link in the show notes for that Medium post. On October 16, 1975, the GOES-1, or Geostationary Operational Environmental Satellite, was launched to study Earth's weather. The GOES series of satellites are part of a joint effort between NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, and NASA. Quote, "These spacecraft help meteorologists observe and predict local weather events, including thunderstorms, tornadoes, fog, hurricanes, flash floods, and other severe weather. In addition, GOES observations have proven helpful in monitoring dust storms, volcanic eruptions, and forest fires." The GOES imagery website is continuously updated in near real time and is viewable by anyone with a web browser. I'm linking to that website in the show notes, and it's interesting to check out, especially because there's areas where you can see some of the fires that are currently ravaging California. The GOES project was a development of the earlier applications technology satellites and later the synchronous meteorological satellites that were launched in the mid-1960s to mid-1970s. The GOES program brought more advanced satellites online over the years. Initial satellites in the series, like GOES-1, 2, and 3, were spin-stabilized and very similar to the SMS, or synchronous meteorological satellites that were before them. Spin stabilization meant that the spacecraft didn't need to expend fuel for station keeping. Essentially, the spacecraft spins around like a top if you were to spin one on a table. The limitations of spin-stabilized spacecraft become apparent when the instruments have to compensate for the spacecraft's spin. Three-axis stabilization is another way that spacecraft are controlled in space. Newer GOES satellites, among with countless other satellites, are stabilized in this way since it allows for more precise orientation for science and communication objectives. NASA's Earth Science Division coordinates airborne and satellite observations to fully understand our home planet. Working towards bettering our knowledge of the weather here on Earth isn't done strictly for scientific reasons. There's an economic imperative as well. Think about how many industries are affected by the weather. Farming, ranching, fishing, air travel, anyone that has to drive in inclement weather, tourism, and countless others are all affected by the weather here on Earth. Studying our home planet is both economically and scientifically prudent, and we shouldn't shy away from finding out as much as we can about our home planet. I do have one piece of news for today's episode. Early this morning, a Progress resupply ship docked with the International Space Station. The Progress is carrying consumables like fuel, air, water, and food that will be unloaded by the crew of the station. The footage of the docking from the International Space Station HD Earth viewing experiment cameras was incredible. If you've never seen the live stream from the space station, it makes for a beautiful background video to have on if you're reading or just hanging out at home. Even Mr. Tim approves of the ISS live stream because every time I have it on TV, he has to watch it too. Sometimes the camera will be offline. Usually it's when the station is not able to communicate with the ground. Conspiracy theorists would tell you that it's because aliens are visiting the space station. Sadly, I don't think that's the case, although it would be pretty cool if it was true. As always, the show notes have more information on today's episode. Be sure to connect with me on Instagram and Twitter. Find me at John Molnix. I'm always up to chat. You can also connect with me on Facebook. Just search The Space Shot or click the link in the show notes. Let me know what you think of the show by leaving a review in iTunes. It takes just a minute to do that, and it makes a huge difference because it helps even more people find the show. I'd also appreciate it if you could share The Space Shot with your friends and family and anyone else that enjoys podcasts. Tomorrow, I'll be catching up on some more reading, and I'll be sure to share that with you. I'm John Molnix, and I'll catch you on the flip side.